When I took on opioid abuse as one of my pillars of my initiative, Be Best, I did it with the goal of helping children of all ages. I have visited several hospitals and facilities that are dedicated to helping all who have been affected by this disease, including people who are addicted, babies born addicted, and families coping with addiction of a loved one. What has struck me with each visit is how this epidemic has touched so many people, whether it is because of personal use or that of family members, friends, co-workers, or neighbors. Opioid addiction is an illness that has truly taken hold of our country. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, more than 130 people in the United States die each day due to overdosing on opioids. In 2017, those overdoses accounted for more than 72,000 deaths, more than any previous year on record. And in 2016, an estimated 40% of opioid deaths involved a prescription drug. My focus through Be Best has mainly been on neonatal absence syndrome, which are conditions that occur when a baby withdraws from the drugs it was exposed to during pregnancy. But when I was invited to participate in today's town hall, I saw it as an opportunity to speak with all of you as you enter into such a critical stage of your lives. The independence that comes with being a young adult can be exciting, but also overwhelming. Most of you are living on your own for the first time. You may be responsible for paying some of your own bills, getting to and from class every day, managing your homework, and I'm sure many of you also have jobs or extracurricular activities. And while I bet no one here will want to admit it, I imagine some of you have or will be experiencing situations with drugs or alcohol. I know college is a time to build your independence, experience things on your terms, and make decisions on your own behalf. I'm here to remind you that some of those decisions, thought they may seem minor at the time, could negatively impact you for the rest of your lives. I'm here speaking to you in my official capacity as First Lady, but I want you to know I'm also here as a mother. But rather than lecture you about the dangers of drug abuse, as most mothers would and should, I'm going to tell you what I have learned in this past year, because I believe education and learning is key to making the right decisions on your own behalf. I have learned that addiction can begin with something as innocent as injury. It could be a sports injury or from some kind of an accident. I have spoken with families and seen many news reports that talk about young athletes or people injured in accidents who became hooked on opioids after being given a prescription for real pain. Tragically, many of those stories end with people who have later transitioned into using heroin and overdosing. In fact, data from the Department of Health Human Services shows that in 2016 and 2017, more than 17,000 deaths were attributed to overdosing on commonly prescribed drugs. I have learned that many people who become addicted to drugs are too ashamed to ask for help. I have also learned that addiction is a disease, and like any illness, people need and deserve treatment. We must commit to removing the stigma of shame that comes with addiction and helping change public opinion so that people find evidence-based treatment before it's too late. I have learned that you have a responsibility to yourself and also to those around you who may be struggling. While you may never personally become addicted, the chances of you knowing someone who struggles with it are very high. And if you or someone you know needs help, you need to be brave enough to ask, or strong enough to stand with them as they fight through the disease. You need to be educated enough to know the signs of addiction, and also secure enough to talk about it, and keep talking about it until help arrives. Now that you know what I have learned, I want to close by telling you what I believe. I believe in the power of all of you. If even one of you lives here today and talks to a friend or family member about the potential to end this crisis, then we all succeeded. I believe that as our next generation, you have the potential to not just reduce, but eliminate the statistics I mentioned earlier. I also believe you have the capacity to not think of these terms of statistics, but to think of this as a human story and an opportunity to save lives. I believe in your unending potential to change our world for the better.